Here today with Coach Blake Weston of the Sonora Broncos. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing well, doing well.
All right, so it's the spring. You guys are just sitting around doing nothing, waiting. Well, maybe not so much. It's really the
Yeah,
busiest time of year for a high school coach, athletic director is the spring. Um, Track and field, baseball, softball, all kind of going on at the same time. For a small school like Sonora, that means though you're getting to see your kids out there competing in these other sports. You're getting to see them in the weight room. Um, so how's it going this spring?
man, it's been like you said, it's been really busy. We've got state track going this week. We've got girls golf going next week, boys golf at state next week. We've had baseball play. Yeah, it's been crazy. And being in Region One for track and golf and tennis and all that stuff, and then being Region Four for baseball, softball has kind of pulled me in different directions, I guess you could say. But man, it's been awesome. I've got a good staff that kind of runs stuff when I'm not here. But man, we're getting bigger and stronger, and anytime you're at the state track meet, you're getting faster. So that's a good thing.
All right, so if you don't mind, kind of walk us through your football team. Graduation's coming up here in a couple of weeks. You're going to be losing some players off the team.
Sure.
Who you going to be losing? Who might step into those roles? Who's going to be back? Just kind of an overview of the team.
You know, um, we graduate some pieces. Our running back Hunter is one of them that's leaving us. He rushed for 1,500 yards this year, so that's going to be a big loss for us. We lose some defensive linemen, both defensive ends, and Tanner Flanagan and Gage Owen. That we're gonna have to have some kids step up and fill those roles. And we lose our big D tackle with him and old Gaitan. He was a 300-pounder that kind of held the middle for us. But the pieces coming back, man. This group is pretty special, to say the least. We got our quarterback back, Jaime Butron, who rushed for over 2,000 yards this year. Uh, Kind of Edgar DeLuna is one coming back. He had 195 tackles this year as our inside linebacker, and we used him on the offensive side late in the year. Uh, just He kind of played late and had 800 yards rushing and 600 yards receiving. So he's kind of he's going to take a lot bigger role on the offensive side this year. Um, we get a lot of our pieces back. Like I said, Edgar is going to have to move to the backfield and the receiving role too. We get four of our linemen back from last year's team, with our center Elijah Samniego kind of leading that. He's kind of our leader. He started there for us the last 2 years. Jacob Martinez, our left tackle, another big kid coming back up front that's going to help us lead the way. Um, our other ones, we moved in a sophomore to the left guard spot late in the year, who came and did a great job with Carmelo Alviso, and then our right tackle was a sophomore this year, Christian Martinez. We're bringing back four dudes up front, uh, which is huge. In our third year in the system, kids kind of get it. We're not. Oh, sorry, we're not. We're not as. I guess we're not learning as much anymore. The kids are kind of second nature to them. The offensive system and defensive system. Uh, Still got the same defensive coordinator. Still run the same offense. So the spring's been really good to polish up on some stuff. Our receivers this year, man, I think are going to be huge for us. I think we're going to be pretty big out there, pretty long. I was talking to somebody the other day. We could actually throw out four receivers out there that are 6'1" or better at the 2A level. That's huge for us. We were 10-3 last year. Our JV was 8-2. So we kind of got some things rolling right now and look to build on it. So our defensive side is, really well. Like I said, we get our Mike linebacker back. Like I said, who the last 2 years is 190 tackles plus. That's Edgar DeLuna, and then again Butron in the back end uh, has been has been huge.
Like you said, you went 10-3 last year. When you're in a small community like Sonora, the school is really the focus of the community. Talk a little bit about, and that was your first the first 10-win season in Sonora in 5 years.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about what it means to a community like Sonora when the school has success, when the students of the school have success.
Right. Oh, it's football is kind of the first thing you do. It is the first thing you do throughout the year. So it's kind of, man, it's just set the tone. The culture here has been amazing. I was here before, and as an assistant coach, and now being back as AD head football coach, it's been last year, winning 7, this year going out and getting 10 wins and playing in the third round. Just the electricity and I guess the expectations for this year, and a lot of returners coming back is man, it's through the roof. Things are going really well, and like you said, the community is been awesome.
So, kind of walk us through who else is in your district and how you think the district's going to look from a big picture view in 23.
Okay, yeah, our district is fairly, not fairly, it's extremely competitive. Forsan last year got second, and they're gonna, Coach Phillips always does a good job, and they got out and got him a playoff win last year. He loses some guys up front, but man, they're always competitive. And Reagan County is super athletic right now. Coach Brown over there has got his guys going, and his boys can play. And Cristobal, that's always one of those. Cristobal and Ozona right up the road from us, and I guess they're all rivalries when it gets to district. But Cristobal's Coach Otto over there is doing good things and got those kids rolling. And Coach Taylor and Ozona, they were young this year, so they bring back a lot of pieces. And then we make that 6-hour trip out to Anthony, so to round out the district. We'll be traveling to mile marker 1. So yeah, no, it'll be a competitive district. But I mean, I think, and I always tell our kid, we take care of us. I think the only team that can beat us is us. We got to play our ball and do us, and it'll be a good year. But like I said, it's not going to come easy. Our district is super competitive.
Now, you mentioned Anthony, and they're on an island as far as 2A football goes. I mean, yes, it's a 6-hour trip, but you're their closest competition.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Two-way level. But if you talk a little bit about what it takes to prepare you, your staff, your kids, what a 6-hour trip versus a 2-hour trip is a huge difference. So what does it take? What's different on that week?
We
schedule wise, preparation wise.
Right. We actually break that trip up into 3 2-hour trips pretty much. We're gonna try to get out to Fort Stockton, which is about 2 hours from here. Take a break, get out, have a walk through, and then we're gonna try to get through. And I haven't talked to anybody yet, but I'll reach out to them when this summer we're gonna try to get out to maybe the Sun Bowl or somewhere in El Paso and kind of stop and get out again and kind of get our feet underneath us, and then make I think it's just a couple 20, 30 minutes from there. So it's our kids are pretty resilient. Like you said, it's gone from 2 hours to 6 hours, but it's okay. Got to go play football. If they call us to go play, we're going to do it. So no matter how far it may be, I think the goal at the end of the year is playing there at Jerry's World. You got to make those trips at some point. So I think it's good for us to, like I said, we break them up in 3 2-hour trips. So we go to Fort Stockton, then we go a little further. We might go to maybe Van Horn, maybe El Paso. We have, we'll get that all rolling this summer. But it's a trip. But again, we always tell our kids once we leave Sutton County, man, it's all business from there. So that's just a longer business trip for us.
All right. Well, you've been around high school athletics for several years. So let's go real big picture here. What would you say is the biggest challenge facing Texas high school athletics right now?
Man, being at a biggest challenge, man, at small schools, we get, I would say we get pulled a lot of different directions. Just like I said, with us, with our regional stuff, our first round playoff game in baseball was in Llano, and then we're having regional track up in Canyon, so and I know not everybody has that, a lot of your but being at a small school and our kids kind of do everything, we're just pulled in a lot of different directions. But again, our school and admin has been awesome and kind of letting us go and doing all that stuff. I know we made trips to Canyon 2-3 weeks in a row. Then we're heading to Llano and heading down south. Just for us personally, I guess it would be the travel. And again, we're really good with what we do, and I don't, but it's just being pulled in different regions. But again, I know it's the best way to do it. You got to fill everybody, and I know that they have a tough job too, and they got to sit there and try to even everything up. So that like you said, Anthony is the closest one to us. I mean, it is it's extremely difficult to make that, because if they stay out there, they're playing 6 days. They can't do that. So I mean, but right now, I mean that's kind of our struggle here at a small school is just being pulled in kind of different directions. And then, I got to coach the state or Texas, are just not having people get into the business is kind of, I guess you would say the struggle when you ask the state of Texas or whatever. And I don't know where they're going. I coached the FCA game a couple of years ago, and I guess I just put it out there to my kids one day after practice. I said, look, fellas, it's the greatest profession in the world. You touch more people doing what we're doing than anybody else. And I told those guys, man, if y'all want to coach, y'all just give me a shout when y'all graduate and I'll hire you. So, they're 2 years out. Maybe in 2 years, I'm going to have a staff of about 57 football coaches after I'll hire all of them.
All right, so let's go from big picture to small picture. Try and learn a little bit about Blake Weston.
Okay.
What would you say your number one guilty pleasure is?
Oh, man. Really bad golf. I think that might be a lot of coaches, but yeah. No. I enjoy playing golf. I'm not very good at it, but yeah, I enjoy it.
I was about to say, you might have some stiff competition on that one. All right, Coach. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Best of luck as you wrap up the school year and into the 23 season.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
LoneStarGridiron.com. Access the complete history of Texas high school football, over 100 years of information, win-loss records, coaching histories, individual stats, records, and more. Lone Star Gridiron, the authority on Texas high school football.